I'm live. Excellent. So it's been a while since we've done this today, since this seems to be the topic directly after Christmas of relationships. So I've been hearing this a lot. I want to just spitball with you guys and go over some of the things that I've been recognizing with clients and just relationships, not really my own. Unfortunately, I don't have anything too bad to share with you other than Sean and I utilize these things and we tend to do really well. So hopefully we can, the two of us and the things that I've learned from our relationship and how she's helped me and blah, 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 can help you guys. So before we get into the spiritual nature of relationships, I'm going to preface this whole video by saying a lot of these things, a lot of these teachings for me have come through David Dita's teachings and his book, The Way of the Superior Man, which is just super imperative that every man read that. But then applying those principles to the relationship with my wife and with all of the male and female friends that I have and seeing how that plays out, it's worked perfectly. And then also how when I talk with my clients and when we work together on these things, once they start to implement these ideals and these principles for themselves, their life begins to change. The relationships begin to change for the better. And that's that. So that's my preface of this video. Let's have some fun. It's 10 o'clock here on the West Coast time, so you're probably not up. And if you are, I'd love to hear your feedback, comments, whatever. But if you watch this after we've done the live video, I just wanted to share this because it was on my mind and spitball with you guys and get some things out of my head and hopefully clarify some things that I'm seeing for a lot of my clients and friends right now. But the first thing I want to say, and this doesn't have to do with the spiritual relationship, it does. It applies to spiritual relationship with your partner, your romantic relationship, and it applies to other things, but primarily to the romantic relationship that you have with your partner. I learned this when I was 19 or 20 years old in a communications class when I was going to college. And my teacher said, there are three things. They did this study and they looked at thousands of people that were happily married after, I believe it was 30 years, maybe it was longer, 30 to 50 years, we'll say. And they said there were three components in this self-reported questionnaire that they kept finding. And those three things are three components to a happy, long-term relationship. These people were happy, fulfilled in their relationship. And there are three things. So the very first thing, and this is in no particular order, is that there was still a physical, excuse me, I just burped, physical attraction. So they had a physical attraction to each other. Obviously, right? You're gonna need a physical attraction to stay romantic with a partner. It just is what it is. Doesn't mean they have to be the like most beautiful person in the world, even though I do find Shauna to be the most beautiful person in the world. But you don't have to find them that. You do have to remain physically attracted to them. So there's a physical attraction. Number two is that there's a sense of autonomy. Ooh, I better spell this right. There it is. Autonomy. And I love this little saying in that it's 1 + 1 = 3. So 1 + 1 = 3, which means you plus me plus us, right? 1 + 1 = 3. So you plus me equals us. That's very important, right? You have to have this sense of individual self. You can't get lost in the relationship. You cannot keep continuing. You're obviously going to meld together. You're going to find that version of us and you're going to find balance with each other. However, there is a yin and a yang, and that's why it's so, I think that's right. There's you, there's me, and then there's us. And we have to maintain this sense of self, or else this line right there gets blurred and we start blending into here, right? That's the yin and yang is going to work perfect. We're going to come back to this in regards to spiritual relationship or the spiritual nature of the relationships. But the yin and the yang works perfectly. 1 + 1 = 3. It's all one in the end, but it's three. So there's that, the sense of autonomy, sense of individuality. And then the third one, and this is so important. This is what we're going to talk about a lot today. And this is meta communication, which means, so we hear about the importance oh my gosh, communication. It's 10 o'clock at night. I did take a 2-hour nap, so I'm a little refreshed, but still. Meta communication. And then what that means is we hear a lot about psychologists and therapists and everyone talking about the importance of communicating, and we need to communicate effectively and be open. But meta communication is communicating about the way we communicate. So it would be things of the nature of talking about the tone that we're using with each other, the actual words that we're saying to each other. Hey, I'm not feeling very well today. I'm not in the right mood. Shauna says this a lot to me because I'm an antagonist and I'm a teaser. I'm just not in the mood for teasing today. Wonderful. And I have to respect that. Right. And I have to say, oh, is there anything? Okay. And I have to change my communication style. It doesn't mean I'm changing myself, right? People always say, well, I can't change. I'm who I am. No, you're not. You're a conditioned aspect of yourself. Who you are, the core of you are, is this onion, this beautiful infinite presence. So when people say, I just am who I am and I'm not going to change for anyone, that's fine. But if you're in a long-term, happy, committed relationship, or you desire to be in a happy, long-term, committed relationship, it's very likely that you're going to have to adjust the way you communicate with your partner. You have to change the way you communicate as you change, right? As your partnership changes. And there will be times where Sean is okay with the teasing and I'm okay with this. But then there are other times where it's, hey, what's up with the tone? Hey, why are you talking to me that way? Hey, why are we blah, blah, blah? Hey, and recognizing those micro expressions, if you will, or those subtle nonverbal communication aspects. So that takes practice, that takes time. We're not going to delve into that too much today, but I wanted to address this. So if we're talking about happy, really happy, committed relationship, long-term wise, you're going to need physical attraction. You're going to need that sense of autonomy, sense of individuality within the relationship. 1 + 1 = 3. And then you're going to need to learn how to communicate about the way you communicate. So that's important. Now, with that being said, we've got that out of the way. I keep looking down because that's where my computer is. Sorry about the delay on this video. I don't know why it does it. I'll try to fix this eventually, but there is a delay, so it's better to just listen to this than it is to watch, I guess. Unless, of course, you want to see my handsome face. Just kidding. So the spiritual nature of the relationship. Now, this is something I keep coming across, and I just wanted to address. And when it comes to a partnership, we have to understand that we are this combination. Each individual is a combination of feminine and masculine energies. And when we think about, it's not just the being the feminine partner or the masculine partner or any of that crap. It's that there is this energetic component to your desired being, right? You chose to come forward into this body in this form. Whether you agree with it or not, you'll come to understand that. You've come forward as a physical human being to embody primarily one energetic signature. Well, we all have an energetic signature that we send out to the universe, but an energetic balance. And so that energetic balance will represent masculine, feminine. And so you can determine if you're masculine and feminine. Again, this comes a lot from David Dita, is if you want to be in a sexual encounter, if you want to be ravished, you want to be opened, or if you want to be the ravager, you want to do the opening. And that sounds, there's times when that's going to switch, but primarily, what is it that you want to do? Is it that you want to be opened into the bliss of yourself, of all that is? Or do you want to open through and experience that, go through that passage and then open, right? And so you can obviously tell that that is representative. If I want to be the ravager, if I want to be the stillness, the penetrating principle that moves through the chaos, that is the masculine entity. That is the masculine energies. If I want to be opened into the bliss, if I want to experience all that already resides, that is the feminine principle. So you're just going to have to determine for yourself whether you're a masculine or a feminine principle. I Tend to adjust quite a bit, but I'm predominantly, if I were to say percentage-wise, I'm probably about 75 to 80% masculine, 25 to 30% feminine. That's who I am, that's how I feel, and that's okay. The masculine energies, just when we're talking about, just broad strokes, right? We're not gonna get super in depth with it, but broad strokes. The masculine principle is the stillness. Is the you can think of it as a pillar just of stillness, right? There's a storm raging around, and the masculine energy is the pillar of the eye of the storm. It's not going to be moved, it's not going to be shaken. It's the mountain, right? It's the mountain pose. It's the wind and the nature is going to blow around me, or it's the tree, and I will sway with it, I will move with it, but my roots are grounded and I'm not going anywhere. And the feminine energies is all the rest of it. It's all, and it's chaos is not a bad thing, but it's the chaos, it's the movement, it's the flow around that centered identity, that centered pillar. So it is, you can think of the feminine energies also as all of creation, all that was, is, and will be. And so when you think about it like that, and if you are feminine, predominantly feminine energies, or a person with feminine energies, that's why your mind feels a bit more chaotic. That's why you have so much going on in your own head. That's why you find it difficult to meditate, right? Why is it so difficult for me to sit still and just empty my mind? Well, it's because you've got all of the energies that were, are, and will be in your mind. Hence the reason you're focused on what was or what will be. You tend to lose sight of what is. That's why a person that tends to be more masculine principle, which tends to be more straight male, and women tend to be more straight, or females. They just want to embody more of that. Doesn't mean that lesbians and gay individuals cannot also balance that, but you do see more of, when you're a lesbian and gay, you see more of a blurring. The lines tend to be more blurred, in a sense. They're more balanced, almost, if you will. They're closer together. That masculine and feminine energy is a bit more um, close together, and that there's nothing wrong with that at all. That's beautiful. It's perfect. It is what it is. It just is who you decided to come into. So you just have to be honest with yourself. Who did I decide to come into? You see some people that are like 90-10, 95-5. It's very dramatic. And you'll tend to find a partner that matches that energetic signature, that energetic principle, right? You tend to find, because that polarity creates really hot rock and sex, right? A lot of polarity creates a lot of friction, which creates a lot of sex. It creates a lot of that excitement, that energetic limerence, if you will. And so, with all that prefaced, now we understand a little bit of the masculine, understand a little bit of the feminine. What I'm seeing right now, as we are, how long into this video? We are 12, 13 minutes into this video. So if you've made it this far, I congratulate you. We're gonna have some fun now. What I'm seeing right now is this movement from where we want to be, where our core is. That's why you can even pause this video right now and you can truly ask yourself, who is it that I want to embody? Do I want to be more still? And do I want to move through and penetrate through and break through all of the chaos? Or do I want to just let go and allow the movement, the flow of my life, right? And you may want both right now. I tend to want a bit more flow for myself. I want a bit more feminine energies. I'm kind of tired of the masculine energies, and there are times for that. But you will always find that you come back to this core nature of who you are. And in a relationship, let me preface this again, you will adjust sometimes. So sometimes Sean will be 70% masculine, I'll be 30% or 30% masculine. It's not typical, but you will adjust in times of necessity for each other. Okay, so there's that. What I'm finding is that people are allowing what they think they should be, particularly my female clients, because that's not true. My masculine clients do this too. We're allowing what we think we should be to dictate who we are. And let me give an example of that. A client of mine today is really, really loving her work. She's an energy worker. She loves it. She has a very high demand for her work. And she's having difficulty finding a bit of the feminine energy within herself. She's focusing on the discipline, the strictness, the rigidity. And so she's having these manifestations of difficulties in her right side. The right side of the body in Ayurvedic medicine or Chinese herbal medicine tends to represent the masculine side, the father, the masculine energies. The left side represents the feminine energies. You'll also find, and I find in the hypnosis world, that the right side represents the present and the left side represents the past. And so you just kind of have to delve into these ideas where sometimes it represents, sorry, my eye's itching, so I keep rubbing it. The left or the, you'll find that you have to look within yourself. You have to do some meditative work. You have to do some self-reflection, some journaling, some writing to delve in and see, well, what is actually going on with me right now? What am I experiencing? So this woman was experiencing her ex-boyfriend decided to go at her and say, I want to marry you, I want to do these things, but you're so rigid, you're so strict, you're so tight, you're so disciplined, you're so blah, blah, which tend to be more masculine structures. They tend to be more masculine. And so she had this tightness on her whole right side where she felt like she was constricting. And so she's an energy worker. She understood how to kind of alleviate it, but she was still experiencing some anxiety, particularly because she wants to let that openness, that flow happen for her. She doesn't want to go from step to step to step to step to step. That's why a lot of us experience, particularly women, experience so much anxiety. You lose your ability to be open. The feminine energy is flow. It's openness. It is the allowance of all that is to flow and move, and the grace and the trust that everything is working just as it should. That is the feminine energy. The masculine energy is I have to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now, the beauty of this is that when you understand your own energetic balance, you can utilize both those principles perfectly. So you can say, well, I think I am predominantly feminine, right? If you're a woman watching this, or if you're a gay man, or if you're whomever, you'll find yourself going, well, I think I'm predominantly a feminine energy. And so that means my desire, my truest heart's desire is to open up to the universe and let it flow into my life. If you say, well, I'm predominantly a masculine energy, that's beautiful too. You're going to need that part. I need that part a lot. That's part of my thing, being more receptive. The feminine energies, even if you look at the sexual structure, the sexual organs, the feminine energy is receptive, right? It's open, it's receptive. The masculine energy is giving. It's projecting. It's movement forward. And so you have to understand that for yourself if you want to have a really happy, thriving, flourishing life and relationship. Now, why that's so important, coming back to our title, The Spiritual Nature of Relationships, is that once you understand that for yourself, you'll understand that in your partnership. And so you do have to do this inner work first. You have to do a lot of self-reflection. You have to do some journaling, or you might be one of those people right now that just knows exactly what you are energetically, and that's beautiful. So now that you know that, you have to start delving more into that. So if you are a masculine energy right now, you're going to have to delve more into, what can I do that allows me to move forward in my purpose? What is it that I can do right this minute? Today, I didn't even think I was going to do a video. But then I thought, you know what? I've been experiencing this with my clients the last few days, especially around Christmas time. You know, these things are popping up. I want to do this video. This is what I want to give right now, right? This is what I want to move forward with. I want to, whoever's going to watch this, you watching this right now, I want you to experience this. And I just lost my train of thought. But we have to understand that if you're a masculine energy, what is it that you can give right in this moment? Even if it's to your family, or it's just the presence with your partner, sitting there in stillness with your partner and holding her close. That is enough. If you're having trouble in your relationship and you're a man, that is enough to begin to open that closed energy that your partner has been overtaking, right? She's been fulfilling the roles of the masculine, which has been causing her to not let herself feel open and free. And so if you're a man right now, I'm just going to give the men some advice and then we'll go to the women. In your relationship, if you want your relationship to be better, you need to find stillness within yourself. You need to recognize that you have the power in yourself right now to be still and be grounded, and that is going to carry you through life, and that life is going to begin to open up for you. And when you are still and grounded with your partner and you just say, come here, let me give you, I want to give you a hug, and you just wrap her up. Don't even say it. Just look at her and just say, I'm so happy to see you. And you give her a hug and you give her a kiss and you squeeze her tight. That is going to immediately allow her to open up her energy. She's going to begin to feel that security and that safety in the energetic stillness and the pillar of strength that her feminine energy is seeking. Even if she's a little bit too masculine in the moment, you grounding yourself, finding stillness in this present moment, and then acting on that will begin to open up her energy, will begin to remind her of her own feminine essence. Now, there are moments, there are times where you will do that and the relationship may be too far gone. I'm not saying that is the case, but it may be the case. These factors do not exist anymore. There's no more physical attraction. There's no more meta communication. There's no more autonomy. And the relationship may be too far gone. That's okay. But as a man, if you can practice these principles for yourself, going forward, life will open up for you. And the next partner, the next feminine partner that you attract into your life, because you are present and still, will be more balanced and be more receptive to that. One of my clients, we did this work for a long time, many years, and his marriage finally dissolved, long-term relationship. Now he is in one of the most energetically balanced relationships that I've felt in a very long time. He took these things to heart and he practiced them and he used affirmations and he changed who he was going to be and what kind of partner he wanted. And now he is he's holding his masculine energies wonderfully. He could work a little bit on his feminine energies, but he's very masculine. His energies are very masculine, probably about 90, 95. He's pretty extreme. And his partner, who's a wonderful person, is holding true to her feminine energies. And they have this beautiful energetic dance together where they're flowing perfectly. It's beautiful to watch. And they've attracted each other into their experience. And now they have this wonderful harmonious relationship where they're 1 + 1 = 3. They understand their energetic signatures and they support each other in their own unique ways. So there's that. Now, the feminine, the girls, hello, welcome, or the more gay men or anyone, lesbians, trans individuals. The feminine energy, and this is tough, especially from mothers. I get this a lot from mothers who have, and if not in really great harmonious relationships, who've had to take on some more of the masculine energies from their partner. They had to overtake that. The feminine energy wants to be open. The reason that so many men leave you for a younger woman is because the younger woman has not allowed herself to harden and become more masculine. So the beauty of being in your feminine energies and being in your open, graceful, flowing, nurturing, oftentimes, energies is that inspires the masculine energy to rise up. There's also this aspect of the feminine energies, we call it the Kali energy, which is the energy that is the destroyer of the masculine. Some people misconstrue this energy. I heard Elizabeth Eat, Pray, Love. And who am I to disagree with her because she has a much bigger following than I do at this point. But the Kali energy is often misconstrued, I feel like, as just this really combative, angry energy. What it is this, it's Kali is the feminine essence, the shadow aspect of Shakti. Shakti is the mother in Hinduism. Shiva is the masculine. Shakti is the feminine. And then there's the shadow aspect of Shakti that we call Kali. And Kali is often depicted as having hundreds of arms in this um, blue body with this serpent's tongue. And she's often depicted as having sex with Shiva, straddling him after she's just decapitated him. So that's an energy, that's a powerful energy, right? Just decapitated the masculine. And now she's going to bang the heck out of him. She's going to go to town. That is part of the feminine flow. That is part of who you are. So we all have that. Even men have that, right? But it does come forward a lot more in the predominantly feminine energies in a woman's body. But getting back on topic, the energy that inspires the masculine is that openness, is that flow, is that trust, that full trust that I don't need to do anything because everything is working out for me. It's the receptive mode. It's the non-doing mode, the non-action mode. I don't need to do anything, but allow the movement to carry me. It's the dancer, right? The masculine is the observer, and the feminine is the dancer. When I had my out-of-body experience, when I first meditated, I felt myself simultaneously as the observer of all that was nothing, right? I was nothing. I was just the observer. And I could feel myself extending outwardly as everything. All that is the feminine energy, right? The creation, Mother Earth, Gaia, right? We have the Father Spirit, if you will, and Mother Gaia. So we have the observer and the observed, but they're both one, they're united. And so I'm being very philosophical in this because I actually don't have any questions, so I don't know where to go. It helps when I have questions. So now I'm just spitballing like I said I would. And I'm not really writing anything because hopefully you're just listening to this because it's on a delay. But when women can fully embody their feminine energy, even though you've had difficulty in your relationships in the past, even though men have screwed you over and you've had bad marriages and you've had guys that cheated on you and you've had all those things don't matter. Those things are things that other people have done because of their own miscues, right? Their own insecurities, their own feelings about themselves, right? In the four agreements, right? One of the agreements is never take anything personally. And don't see intention behind other people's mistakes. That's not a four agreements, but that's a good principle. Don't see intention behind other people's mistakes. It's just, it is what it is. Accept what is. That's the beauty of this life, right? That's the balance of both of these energies. The masculine has to go, I am now. I am stillness for my partner, and I am stillness for the world. Forget just being that for my partner. When I embody stillness, I inspire others just like me to be still, to be grounded, and to be strong, right? There is strength in grounded stillness for the masculine energies. And oftentimes the masculine energies want to use that stillness through force, through movement, right? Then then they want to be rigid and hard and compete and challenge and that masculine energy. Oh, and then the feminine energy wants to be flow and open and dance. There's kind of a reason in sports that guys want, and not all guys, like there are plenty of female athletes, but more masculine energies want to compete, want to hard and tough and challenge, and the feminine energies, a true feminine energy like a more really predominant feminine energy, wants to dance and move and flow around, right? It just it's fun that way. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. And there's nothing wrong with the energetic balance of who you are and how you want to be. That's beautiful. You're going to find a partnership and a partner that matches that, and that's wonderful. But and there's also so much power for the women in allowing yourself to be open and to flow with life, to move as the wind carries you because you are the wind, to be the storm when necessary. There's so much power. Mother Nature is the most powerful force on this earth. She is the earth. And who she is more powerful than any one of us can be. No matter the technology we come up with, there's nothing that can stop a tsunami from ruining all that we've built. There's nothing that can stop a tornado or a hurricane from ruining, or a fire from ruining all the structures that we built. When you're in your flow, but look at how nurturing, sorry, I'm going to change points, but look at how nurturing Mother Nature can be too. Without her, our bodies deteriorate. Without her water, without her nourishment from the food, without the sunlight, our bodies would wither away. We'd get disease. And so that's the balance within us as well. The mind, body, spirit. Body is the feminine. Spirit is the masculine, right? The Father God. But all of these are wrapped up in this beautiful one, the triune. That is the beautiful part of our relationships, is you will shift from your masculine and feminine energies a little bit. But the more you can hold true to who you are, the more you'll be giving to the world, not just your partnership. And the more fulfillment you will have in this life. When you are always trying to be, how far are we into this? 32 minutes, wonderful. When you are always trying to be something that you are not, that you think you should be, you don't give anything to the world. Martha Graham, the founder of contemporary dance, has this beautiful quote, and I don't remember it perfectly, but she says that there is a life force, a quickening that moves through us, and it can only move through you in the perfect way that is designed for you. And if it doesn't move through you, it will be lost to the world. It can only come through you in that exact way. It doesn't matter how good it is, it doesn't matter what you think of it, it matters that you give it. You must let go of the constraints of what you think you should be and connect with who you are. And you've chosen this body and you've chosen this form. You've chosen your parents and you've chosen your siblings, you've chosen your kids so that you can have a beautiful dance being exactly who it is that you feel you are, not that you should be. And that's a long journey. That is why I do these videos, because it's been a long journey for me. I'm 37 years old and I've been going after myself. I've been looking inward on myself for 23 years since got sick with leukemia. I've been looking inward to myself for 23 years. So I've had a little bit of a jump start on most people. But even I, at this point in my life, still find that I need to be something that I was conditioned into. But then my inner being says, you don't have to be anybody other than who you are right now, Zach. You can be cocky, you can be fun, you can be jokey, you can be serious, you can be all of the things that you are. You can be, there's a time for you to be a dancer and allow your feminine energies to move, which I do love to dance. I'm pretty good at it if I do say so myself. And there are times where it's time for you to buckle down and get moving forward. There are different seasons of life. Tony Robbins talks about the four seasons. I don't really remember it that well, but there are times for sowing and there's times for reaping and there's times for allowing things to sprout. And there's time, there's all these seasons of life and there's all these seasons of who we are. And every moment, every relationship, even your interpersonal relationships, your friendships, your family relationships, those will differ as well. But the best thing that we can do for ourselves is to assess who we really are. Like I've been saying throughout this whole video, write it down, journal. Who am I? Ask yourself, who am I? There's a beautiful process that I probably will do a video about. And all you do is you just keep asking, who am I? Or you do it with a partner and you ask, who are you? That's all you do. You sit there, you can close your eyes, you can keep your eyes open, and you just keep asking, who are you? And they'll respond, who are you? And you do it for 5 minutes. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? It sounds repetitive. You'll start to go inward. You start to peel back the layers of who you thought you should be, of the conditioning from your parents, from your environment, from society, all the things you've built up to think you should be something, and connect with who you actually are. And recognizing that you're multifaceted. There are so many beautiful aspects of you. Yeah. And I think that's pretty much the gist of it. I think I delved into that. I could delve into it a little bit more, but really it is purely that you keep trying to be something you're not and you stop being who you are. You are exactly as you've chosen to be, and you have to accept that. You chose to embody this type of energetic balance, and that's okay. That's beautiful. And you will find a partnership that matches that if you're not in that currently. But you can also enhance some of those features. That's why we're here. We can enhance some of those characteristics by practice, by breaking the cycle of who we are to be, or who we were to be who we want to be, right? You have to break the pattern of who you used to be the future version of yourself, the updated version of yourself. You're downloading new software. You are creating new software through your own thoughts and through your own feelings, your own emotions. And you do that by saying, you can read David Dita's book. It's a great book. It's The Way of the Superior Man for the males, or I think it's called Hello Lover for the females. They're wonderful books, and they will help you understand how to embody more of what you want to be. But that's not that difficult unless you've never done it before. Because if you're a mom and you've never had any help from your husband, you've missed this part. You've taken all the responsibility on yourself. You thought you needed to do it all. And that's not part of a partnership, right? That's going to cause resentment. If you're a dad and you've just said, well, I've learned to work so hard my whole life and I'm supposed to support my family and blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's beautiful. But it's time for you to also be part of your child's lives, and if you've been taking on that role your whole life, and you guys just have this resentment of one of you's working all the time and one of you's parenting all the time, and there's never any balance, it's not going to lead to anything positive for either one of you. It's going to lead to resentment. It's going to lead to frustration and anger. You can maybe turn that around. I don't know. I've never had that relationship problem. Not seen a lot of it successful, if I'm just being honest. Once you decide to be that and you decide never to change ever again, you're going to keep getting the same results. And then guess what? Wherever you go, there you are. So you're going to take that same version of yourself into the next partnership. Practice as a masculine partner, knowing that you also have feminine energies. There is a time for me to be disciplined, to be still, to be moving forward. And that is the majority of the time, right? That's going to help your feminine partner open up and feel secure and safe. And then she's going to give that energy and you're going to flow together. You're going to balance, right? And then there's times when you say, hey, I just need a little support, right? And that's, for me, that's a very difficult thing. I had to do that with Shauna 2 weeks ago because I just said, I'm not good at asking for your help. I'm not good. We're in our relationship almost 11 years. It'll be 11 years in February. And I still have a difficult time asking for her support. Hey, can you just play with my hair? I like that. Hey, can you just blah blah blah, blah. Can I just cuddle next to you? Can I just, and she is completely, she just turns a switch and it's, of course you can. Come here. Let me play with your hair. Come here. Yeah. Cuddle up next to me. Blah 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 blah. We're creating storylines in our own heads, oftentimes that don't exist. Our storylines, I don't think anyone said anything. I was just looking out to see if anyone said it. We're creating storylines that do not exist. They only exist in your own mind. You'll never know what the storyline truly is until you are talking, meta communicating with your partner. Hey, is this, I'm telling myself this story, is this true? Both of you have to do that. That requires both of you. Oftentimes, I will be honest, the women like to talk more, but it is the purpose of the masculine partner to penetrate through that wall that she's building up. It's your job. So once you can penetrate through that with your light, which is your humor, which is with your stillness, which is with fun, that's how you penetrate through. You don't penetrate through with anger. And, negative emotion doesn't do anything. It just repels that energy. But when you can use direct movement and she's angry and frustrated and you say, and she can be angry and frustrated, but also in that space say, okay, I won't touch you, but I'm going to be right here, standing right next to you. That right there is going to soften that wall. That right there is going to let her energy start to come down. Okay, he's respecting my boundaries, but he's still with me. He's not going anywhere. The feminine energy, and women, you do this unconsciously. Women, my feminine energy, predominantly people out there, you are going to constantly test your masculine partner. It's a constant test to trust his masculine stillness. And so men, you have to understand when that test is happening. That's when it requires self-reflection. That's when you have to go, I'm so still and balanced. And I know that your feminine energies unconsciously are testing me, and I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to love you, and I'm still going to care for you. Doesn't mean anything. And I'm still going to smack that little booty when you get out of line. It is what it is. It is what it is. But I think that's it. We didn't get any questions because it's so freaking late here on the West Coast. And that's that. I just wanted to share all that with you. I probably missed a bunch of stuff that I wanted to say, but I do appreciate you guys watching if you did watch. And I do want to say that I always like ending my videos with the fact that you are loved, or you are safe, you are loved, you are protected, and you are worthy. And that was my guidance from my counsels to share with you guys, because they are your counsel as well. You are safe, you are loved, you are protected, and you are worthy. And you don't have to be anyone other than who you are. You are beautiful just as you are. The task, the work is to connect with that, is to move inwardly and to understand that about yourself. Once you can understand that, you're going to change the world, right? Just being yourself, being you is enough for the world. The world needs just you, but you have to understand who you are in order for that to transpire in the world. You can't give to the world if you keep trying to be something you're not, right? Nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. You're not enthusiastic when you're being somebody that you're not, but you are enthusiastic when you're being true to yourself. And then that carries forward into your relationships. It carries forward into your romantic relationship, and it carries forward into your familial relationships, your friendships, even just random encounters on the street. You are changing the world with your beautiful energy, and that's all you can do, right? That's all you can be in this world. And that's my reminder for today. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. I will probably start doing some more of these random lives when I just want to spitball like this. And maybe in the future I'll set one up. But I love you guys. Thank you so much. Again, you are safe, you are loved, you are protected, you are worthy. Make that your mantra. Say it to yourself again and again and again, because it's true. And I love you, and I appreciate you, and I will see you guys next time. All right. Love you. Bye.